We've had a lot of conversations about, man, is this the right starting lineup? And if it's not, who do you sit? And you go down the list and you're like, DeRozan, how can you sit him? The guy's a walking bucket and has almost single-handedly won this team a few games this year. Keegan Murray. Well, probably the most obvious one on the surface. Here's the problem. On a team that sorely lacks defense, he is your only wing defender. And whereas last night you look at the numbers, 5 of 11, 13 points, 8 boards. That's fine. It's not great. It's fine. And a team high +7. But the box score, it's why Keegan Murray is probably the most difficult player and maybe the most controversial player on the Kings, most difficult to understand, because you look at a box score, you're like, 13 points, come on, dude. But it's when you watch the games, I invite you just to watch Keegan. He's their only wing defender. So if you have a defense issue and you sit Keegan Murray, you've just killed your already crap defense. Sitting Domantas Sabonis, LOL, move on. Zach LaVine had his best game, 32 and 10. Had a great game yesterday. Team high 45 minutes. He's trying to fit in. Oh, by the way, he makes $45 million a year, and they just acquired him. Malik Monk, come on, 24 and 9, 42 minutes, huge moments. Has earned this ability to start, wants to start, signed here on a great contract. How do you sit him? Because you're trying to find a way, really, let's be honest, trying to find a way to inch Keon Ellis into the starting lineup. Because when you traded De'Aaron Fox, we've gone over ad nauseum, and I don't want to relitigate it, the things you lost, but you also lost a quick defender who is regularly in the top 3 in the league in steals and deflections. You lost a plus defender at point guard. Malik Monk is not a plus defender. And by the way, the defense wasn't great before, but it's really fallen in the tank since these trades were made. The problem is, and we'll go back to the old analogy I've used 1,000 times for this team through the years, sadly enough, is that we'll go to my favorite world of food and cooking, or baking, if you wish. You have you look at this starting lineup and you break it down player by player. They all are good to great at the things that they do. They're good ingredients. But it's Valentine's Day today. Go home and take a filet mignon, some creme brulee, a baked potato, a scoop of ice cream, really good ice cream, like vanilla bean, like Dryers. And I don't know.
That's your peak of excellence.
Well, what's better than Dryers? Dryers? I don't know. I was just thinking.
Some hoity-toity store.
And put them all in a bowl and mix them together and serve it. Gross. The dish doesn't work. You have great ingredients, but the dish doesn't work because the ingredients don't mesh. Okay, guys, fine. Haagen-Dazs. Get off me.
Let's go Gunther's.
The truth that we probably don't want to face is that this team at a glance has been put together like a team you'd want to put together in fantasy basketball. Really think about that. This is a team that, hey, this guy can score. This guy can, he can assist. It's a team that would be a good fantasy basketball team. And it's why I would say to the layperson basketball fan, if you were to take arguably the best team in the league, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and you were to look at their starting lineup, you go, okay, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, MVP candidate, awesome. Lou Dortz. Jalen Williams is great. Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein. By the way, no disrespect. These are all great players, but they're less a fantasy basketball team and more a team that is specifically put together to mesh on the floor and to cover each other's weaknesses on offense and defense and play to each other's strengths. It's a big reason why guys like Derek White aren't as celebrated as others, but are ultimate glue guys. Those players that play that don't jump off the page at you, but oh my God, your team's winning by 22 every night. The Kings don't have that. They're going to win games in many cases because they're just better. They're just more talented. But if you wonder why we keep coming back to this time after time after time, it's because we're driving ourselves into the ground. They can't defend. They can't stop the other team. And I wonder why it is. Is it because we're coping? Is it because we just don't want to see it? But why is it that we constantly are saying, God, why does this team shoot so well from three against us? Why is this guy making all these shots when he shoots 30%? How many times this season have you watched a team come in, whether it's Golden One Center or they're at home, and completely overshoot their average marks? And what do we think? They're just hot at the right time. We're just getting unlucky. No, it's because teams know going in their prep, in their walk, in their shoot around, in their walkthroughs. Guys, this should be a fun game tonight. You can score on these guys. They got a weak underbelly in the perimeter. Have fun. And then they make a few and they get confident. And the next thing you know, it's off to the races. That's not going to change unless Doug during the break is able to completely overhaul their team defense. And I just don't know if you can do that with this lineup. There's not enough defenders. So that's the reality, in my opinion, where we're at. You got to face some hard truths. So 1-800-920-1140. I want to hear from you guys. 1-800-920-1140. I told you we're going to take stock today. Let's take stock at the break. Are your expectations, have they been met? Has this season gone worse than you thought? Better than you thought? Truly ask yourself. And what's your solution if there's a problem? If you're the coach, if you're the GM, what do you do? 1-800-920-1140. Because the energy is not a problem. They're not lollygagging. Probably because of that $49 tune-up and inspection, my friends in America.